What is up, guys? It is Della here, and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys my Crusadia deck profile, um, post December ban list, and yeah. So I think this deck has honestly a lot of potential. I am playing the combo variant, and I really do like the going second OTK, but I just feel like your deck has to do really good going first, or else I just don't feel like blind going second whenever a deck like Drytron is running around right now is a good viable option, which is why I think I've come up with one of the best going first combo variants that I can think of, and this deck is just insane because it can play through hand traps, it can play around hand traps. Like it is, I really do think it's such a viable deck this format. And I'm actually going to be showcasing you guys the side deck too, and like choices I've decided to put into it and reasons why. So this is going to be kind of like an in-depth deck profile, and I've kind of around a bit with the deck, and but I really do like the way where it currently is right now. And so yeah, let's go with the um, main deck first. So main deck first, I am playing 3 copies of Maximus. One of the best ones going second. If you do have to go second on your first round, you don't really have to worry because you really just summon all your Crusadias and then you climb into Equimax, and then Equimax can easily one punch your opponent, so that's always really good. And then Maximus, if you guys don't know what Maximus does, he basically any Crusadia monster you control, they do double battle damage, and but no other monsters can attack. But that doesn't really matter because you can just put it where Crusadia Equimax is, and then like already right here, this is if you just put him to zone he points to, he'll become 3600, and so that's already 6200 damage that you're gonna be doing. So it's really easy to one punch with this deck. The next Crusadia I run is 3 copies of Crusadia Arborea. Arborea is an incredibly good one. The reason why I think Arborea is really good is because you can set her in grave, and the way the end board I kind of have with this deck is really, I guess you could say like it. I'm kind of losing words right now, but your end board really benefits from having Arborea in grave, just as like as another, just as more protection, and it kind of just makes your board a lot beefier. And going summoning her first is actually really good because you summon her first, go into your Magius, you can't get hit by Ogre because you can just banish this instead, and then the Magius would just stay on board. So she's really good card. And then we play 3 Crusadia Leonis, probably the worst one, but I will actually explain later why I decided to still play 3 copies of this card. But yeah, he just allows you to do piercing damage, but this card rarely comes up. Next, I actually only play 2 Crusadia Draco in this version, because in this version, since we're still running the LP engine, since it wasn't banned, I really do think that cutting Draco down to 2 is a good idea, because you really don't want to see Draco as your only Crusadia monster, because then you just search for another Draco, and then you're kind of just like adding like a monster that can't be summoned to your hand from the grave. So that's why I kind of only run it at 2, and he's only really good in your starting hand if you open another Crusadia. But yeah, that's like my main reason for running him at 2, and because I don't want to see him off of Star YUGIOH. There were so many times where I open him, not I open him. After I use him, I go into Star YUGIOH, and then I draw another one, and so I'm kind of just like thinking like why I'm running this card at 3. So that's why I kind of like put it down at 2. You guys can still run it at 3, but this is just what I think is the most consistent version of the deck. Then I play 2 Crusadia Reclusia. I cut down on Reclusia because it does nothing going first, This is more of a going second card, because if you're forced to go second, you can pop a spell and trap, you can pop a monster on the field. But like then again, like this is, I don't want to see this off of Saryuja if I got it already in my starting hand. I'd rather not see him at all in my hand, draw him off of Saryuja, or see him in my hand and not draw him from Saryuja at all. That's why I kind of like cut this down to 2. And then I'm actually playing 3 Rescue Cat. This is currently my proxy for Rescue Cat, but you would actually play 3 Rescue Cat in this slot. But Rescue Cat, I've been testing, is actually a really, really good card to run because of the fact that it deck thins, okay? We're playing a 40 deck count, and it actually took me so long just to get this deck down to 40, but I was finally able to do it. And Rescue Cat is just such a good card because you put it in the grave, you tribute it, then you summon 2 of your Leonis out. And this is really, really good because, and keep in mind, this doesn't use up your Leonis special summon. So, like, let's say you do open your Crusadia Draco. If you can use this, link summon off into Magius, special summon another extender or something. And then, like, actually, no, scratch that. Like, if you're, no, okay, so yeah, whenever you special summon this, you're still getting out a live card. So, like, in a hand where you don't really open that playable, Rescue Cat really does kind of, like, fix it. So, yeah, that's why I run Rescue Cat. And because this card allows you to hard make, Gossip Shadow. Okay, and we do play Gossip Shadow, and the reason why she allows you to hard make is because if you open enough level 3s, you use, here, I'll actually kind of show you, let me put these to the side. So you use your Rescue Cat, special summon 2, let's say you open, I don't know, these 2, okay? Let's say you open these 2. You use 1 for link summon into your copy of Magius. So this is right here, right? Yeah, okay. And then you can special summon 1. You get your search for Draco. Then you use these 2 to go into your Gossip Shadow, and then you special summon another 1. And then you're still left with 3 cards in hand, which is pretty good. And most of the time you can play with 3 cards in hand. Most of the time you should always be able to play with 3 cards in hand. And then Draco will still get you an extender from the grave. So you're still going to be able to get your Leonis from grave because you'll still have another one. So that's why I run Rescue Cat. Let me just move this to the side. Okay, and then we play 2 copies of Former Skipper. So I added, I actually cut down the Reclusia and the Draca for 2 of this card. The reason why I added this in is because it allows you to keep hand advantage, and if you do get hand trapped and you don't open ways to access to, if you don't open your cards which allow you to play around hand traps, and you do open this will allow you to play through the Nibiru, because this is going to get you Parallel Exceed, which is going to give you a 1 card pathway to your copy of Baguska. So, and that's always just a good card to end on, because a lot of decks can't play around Baguska. Then I play, of course, the 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This card is insane. Before, I was running Rafflesia, but Rafflesia required too many cards from your hand. And the reason why that is because you would actually go into your Saryuja with only 2 cards in hand, and then you would still get 3 from because of the Saryuja, but most of the time those 3 weren't playable, and if it was playable, you just wouldn't be able to end on much. So what I do is with this is, since we are in a trap heavy format, whenever I summon out my Magius, you call chain 2, chain 1, and then you special summon these out, and then you use 1 for a link summon into Lingaribo, and then you use these 2 to go into your Spasa. So you aren't losing hand advantage, and this is still really good because it allows you to play through around Imperm, And if you're going second, this is still really good because we're currently in a trap heavy format. So this is honest. I'd rather do this than do Rafflesia. And because the reason why I don't like Rafflesia, because it adds a brick in the deck, and I really wanted to keep a minimum, like the lowest amount of bricks I could in this deck. And then, sorry guys for coughing, I'm just a little bit sick right now. Hopefully I'll be better soon though. Then we play 2 Gillosaurs. This is just a free special summon, and is another level 3 to help us hard make our copy of Gossip Shadow. But this card is really good. Then, another thing, and I'm surprised I don't see other people playing this, because this is such a good little engine to run. You run the Terror Top engine. The reason why this engine is just insane is because this is a 1-card Gossip Shadow. You open this, like, your opponent isn't stopping you. Like, you're gonna end on negates. Like, this deck, no matter the hand you get, you will always end on at least a triple negate Appaloosa. Like, that's just how good this deck is. And, like, I know people think that this is technically a brick, but if you, this is playable, once you have Appaloosa out. This is playable, if you open Relic Seed. This is playable if you, once you have Draco, if you really need a special summon. But yeah, this little engine is just insane. Then you play of course, 1 black dragon, 1 white dragon. These are, undoubtedly, some of the best extenders in the game, and the reason why they're limited kind of just shows that. Then you actually play 1 Dogmatic Thea. This is just a free special summon. Doesn't lock you out of your extra deck like the other Dogmaticas, and it's a level 4, so if you need a hard make Baguska, this is a card that allows you to do that. And then you play the 1 Codebreaker 0 Day. This is one of the 3 bricks in the deck. Actually, I'll just show you all 3. So these are the 3 bricks of the deck. You play Red Eyes because you're playing the LP package. Gamma Seal's in here because you're still playing Waterfront. And then the Codebreaker 0 Day is in here because we're playing the Codebreaker engine in the extra deck, which is honestly such a good engine. And since we do play Saryuja, hard opening this isn't terrible because we can just send it back with Saryuja, and now our Codebreakers are playable once again. Then you play the 2 Waterfront. Okay, now the reason why I only play 2 Waterfront is because there was too many times where I kind of just opened 2. And another reason why I cut it down to 2 is because if you open your bricks and this, and you don't open playable, this is just a dead card. And there's times where if I open bricks, I'd rather just have an additional extender than Waterfront. So that's kind of like the reason why I cut it down to 2, because it isn't needed for us in order to win the game. It just, if we do happen to draw it off of Saryuja, or if we draw in our opening hand, we are 100% winning. That is just putting icing on the cake. And then you play the 1 Rhoda in order to play more copies of Arborea, just for the extra protection against Ghost Ogre. And then for our Reborn spells, we play 1 Monster Reborn, 1 World, the 2 World Legacy cards. I have been thinking about adding what's it called? I forgot what it was called. Living Fossil, yeah, Living Fossil. But I don't know. I don't have any current copies of it, so I haven't really been able to test it out. But this currently has been working for me. Let me know what you guys have been testing. Let me know if Living Fossil actually works for you guys if you do play that card, because I really want to try it out, but I'm not sure. Next, we play 1 Instant Fusion. The reason why we play 1 Instant Fusion is because of 2 specific hand traps that are being main decked a lot, which is Ash Blossom and Drolan Lockbird. Of course, like, we can play through an Ash, but just having but the reason why I really love this card is because it allows us to play through hand traps. I mean, around hand traps but it's also an extender. So we don't lose a body on board, and that just allows us to keep comboing off. Which is actually something that the Rafflesia version kind of struggled with, because you would lower your hand count, and then you would kind of like lose your ability to really make an oppressive board. But again, like just having this card is just insane, because you summon out your Millennium Eyes, and then this protects you against draw too. And the reason why I'm kind of scared of draw is because it really does kind of like hurt this deck, and it's being main decked because of Drytron running around. And because of it being main deck, you just kind of want to have access to this. So yeah. And then you play the one Fossil Dig, because it gives you access to your Gillosaurus, and which is just a free special summon, and it deck thins, okay? Like, okay, so this card, we have Formant Skipper, we have Parallel Exceed, we have Magius, we have Rescue Cat. All those cards deck thin for us, which is gonna make it easier to draw into our waterfronts. So that's really good. And the fact that we play a 40 card main deck, it just makes it even better. And then we play the one Crusadia Testament, okay? Reason why I opted to play this card instead of Crusadia Power is because Crusadia Power, it's once per turn, and then like, okay, before I added this card in, I was just running one Crusadia Power. So I decided to add this card in because of the fact that I took out, what's it called? I took out the trap card, Crusadia Crawler. I took out Crawler because I don't know, I just always drew it, and I just felt so tilted. Maybe that's just me, but I just added this one in because it can be used. And the second effect is actually why we have it in, because we can draw 4 cards off of this one card. So that's kind of why we run it. And then you can start, if you go first, you make your Unbreakable board, and then whenever it's your next turn, you're going to start your turn with 5 cards in hand, which is why we just run this card. And so yeah, that's the main deck. Now, next I'm going to be going over the extra deck, and I'll kind of explain more on how the deck kind of works. So for Crusadia Link Monster, we play 1 Equimax, 1 Abermax, the 1 Magius, 1 Regulix, and 1 Spatha. Spatha's there for the Guard Dragon combos. Regulix allows us to get our access to the Crusadia Testament. Magius is there because it's the best one. It searches Draco. And then Abermax, which is actually a huge combo piece, is a card that, and it's a card that we use a lot, so you kind of need to have this card. And then Equimax, because just OTK. This card is just insane. And then for the combo plays, we run the 1 YUGIOH and 1 LP. LP makes it easy to go into your YUGIOH. And then for the code breakers, you just one Virus Swordsman, 1 Virus Berserker. I actually saw people used to like go into these like super early into their combo. You don't go into these until you have your YUGIOH out, because then you draw enough cards to make these, and then you just like and then the zone's already done for you, so that's why. You play the 1 Appaloosa. Like I said, almost like 90% of the time, no matter what hand you get, you will always be able to make a triple negate Appaloosa. And Appaloosa stops most of the decks right now because like Virtual World activates in hand, so does Drytron, so this is just really good against those decks. Then you play the 1 Lingeribo, because you can make its Parallel Exceed. And it makes, like, if your Formant Skipper gets hand trapped, you can link him into this and then special summon your Crusadias to it, and then you can just keep going on in your plays. 1 Link Spider, just in case we do get an Beerud, this card allows us to play through it. And then for your XZs, you play the 1 Gossip Shadow and the 1 Baguska. This can be your rank 4 of choice. I just put in Baguska because I feel like many decks can't play around the Baguska. And it's just insane because Actually, okay, so I'll actually explain. The board we can end on like a good like 95% of the time whenever we don't see waterfront is Baguska, Avermax, and then triple negate Appaloosa along with your Crusadia Testament. This board is really good because you get 3 negates off of the Appaloosa. They can't attack over your Appaloosa because of Baguska because it turns them into defense. And now you have even extra protection because of the Avermax. So normally, you're going to search for this and then you, during your opponent's turn, if they do find a way to negate this or like if they attack and Avermax is going to stop the attack and then we activate this because it's a quick play, which will allow us to draw 4 cards because a monster was killed with Avermax. And let's say they don't attack, then we draw 1 card for at the start of our turn, and then whenever we attack with Avermax, we flip this over and we draw 4 cards. So regardless, we're gonna have 5 cards on our next turn to play. And this is honestly just like the easiest board to make. This is like probably the board you will always be able to make no matter what. And then the other board you actually make, if you do, okay, if you open the craziest hand, like you open completely nuts, what you will be able to end on is, this is what you will be able to end on. But this is like if you open like the best hands. Like if you open your black dragon or white dragon, if you open the parallel seed, if you open your rescue cat for the normal summon, if you open the what's it called, either Terror Top or the instant fusion. As if you manage to get all those 4 that one turn, you'll be able to end on this along with Gamma along with 1 Crusadia monster for the negate that you have with your copy of Equimax. So this is if you open completely nuts, like the best possible. You're going to end on a triple negate Appaloosa, 1 negate Equimax, an interruption with Avermax so that they can't attack you. They can't attack the Appaloosa. And then basically infinite negates with the Gamma Seal because you'll have Waterfront out. And you're guaranteed 3 negates with this because of Equimax tributing this, fueling your grave. So you're going to have a guaranteed 3 with this. But like even next turn, this is going to be infinite negates. Like you're just going to keep fueling this. So this is probably the most, if you open like insane. However, if you don't open like this, the board you can still make with, and this board will still have this. So yeah, you're still going to have this. However, if you don't open like 100% nuts, this is still the most consistent board with Gamma Seal. There's times where I end on this and still the Linger Evo on board for protection against Imperm, or like just traps in general. But that won't really matter because you'll still have Gamma Seal on board. But yeah, actually, if you guys want a combo video, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a combo video with this deck. So I actually didn't finish telling you guys the extra deck, but the rest of the extra deck was just Gossip Shadow and your Millennium Eyes. So that's the rest of the extra deck. So ideally, like you're still gonna have like, okay, I'll show you actually like a mini combo. Like if you have these cards and at the end of your once you reach your start YUGIOH, like since you're not using Gamma Seal whenever you like in this type of board, you're gonna have your start YUGIOH special summon. So let's say you have your Formant Skipper and then like any 3 extenders, I guess. We won't have the Black Dragon on here because that's just gonna make the combo even more nuts. But like, okay, let's say you have this, okay. And this will be after you have your copy of YUGIOH on board. Okay, so let's say you have this, okay. effect to start YUGIOH to special summon this. Then you're gonna special summon your Crusadia Arborea. Link these two into your copy of Fire Swordsman. Fire Swordsman effect and Format Skipper effect. Format Skipper will give you search for Parallax Seed. Fire Swordsman will special summon out your copy of Codebreaker 0 Day. So right now this is your hand. And then you just link these two into Fire Swordsman. I mean, not Fire Swordsman, Virus Berserker. And then he's going to special summon back these two. Then this is where you'll special summon this to make your triple negate Appaloosa. Sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera there. Okay. And then so you already got your 3 negates here. Then you'll special summon this and link these two off into your copy of Regulix. Then you'll special summon Parallax Seed. And this will get your search for the Crusadia spell, which is, I'm trying to find it here, which is Crusadia Testament. And it will also special summon out your other copy of your Parallax Seed. So, if it doesn't seem obvious, you're going to use these two for your link summon into your Avermax. And then you're just going to use these two, and just to help play around Geonator, since that's the card being played, you put these two all the way in the far right hand side, and you make your Baguska. So I know this hand kind of seemed kind of specific, but it really isn't, because okay, so in this case, which is, I'm actually going to tell you something that you need to know. I know in this case, whenever you have these guys out, you're kind of required to use a card that doesn't require being special summoned to a, because all the Crusadia monsters have a restriction to where you have to special summon them to a zone of link monster points to. But right here, in order to make the triple negate Appaloosa, you have to get a monster right here, a monster that doesn't need to be summoned that way. But we actually do play a lot of cards, like in this case, like if we opened Terratop, we're gonna have our copy of Gossip Shadow out, so you just use Gossip Shadow and these two. And we just play so many cards that can be special summoned here. And like the reborn spells that allow us to do that you'll like consistently always see at least one, because you're drawing off of YUGIOH. And so like this video is already kind of long, but if you guys would like to see a combo video, I am more than happy to. Like that is something I would really love to do, because this deck is just, I believe, insane. And that's just like that's barely like that's just showing you how like the end board plays kind of end. And I'll explain like the Gamma Seal end board and all of that in another video. If you guys would like to do a combo video, I'll do it there. And I actually haven't gone over the side deck, so I'll actually go over that next. So you technically play the 2 copies of Pankratops. Reason why I played this is because you can pop it with the Reclusia, so, in which will get you a search for your Pankratops. So Pankratops is honestly such a good card. It can honestly break so many boards, like not even joking. Like this card is insane. Then you play the three kaijus. This can be any kaijus, to be honest. These were the only other kaijus I had, so I just added these 3. Then this is where like you can kind of like make it your own. I really do want to play 3 Lava Golem, but I don't have any currently. So this is what I kind of play at. You of course want to play the 1 Crusader Revival, because this card is a board wipe going second. And then I only play 2 Crusadia Power. Like this side deck isn't 100% complete yet, but this is just me kind of like throwing ideas out there. So you do kind of have 2 Crusadia power because this card is really good going second. Then for spell and trap removal, play 2 Twin Twisters and 1 Red Reboot. Now, like, the spice in the side deck is actually 1 Light Dragon Agnister and 1 Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is, of course, in here for Drytrons. I really, you can honestly take out Bagusa, put this in the actual extra deck, and then on this instead of Bagusa in your end board. But I just feel like Bagusa is a bit stronger against, like, because Baguska hurts every single deck currently in the format. And then the 1 Light Dragon Agnister, because this is a 1 card out to Megaclops. If we do come up with that situation where we have to out a Megaclops, side this in, or if you're really scared of it, just side this in. This is a 1 card out to it. So just, like, the 1 card space in the side deck doesn't hurt that much. So yeah, that's the end of that. So yeah, this is the end of the video. This is actually kind of really long, but this deck is just completely insane. I know Team COG has a version now that kind of plays with synchros, but I really do think that the best version is the version that allows you to make YUGIOH. You just fix your hand, which is really, really good. Yeah, so that's kind of the end of the video. And leave a like if you really enjoyed. I will try to make my other videos kind of shorter. But if you do want to see a combo video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the description how you guys are kind of, playing Crusadias. And yeah, Della signing out.